Brand new edition of Local Focus with Sebastian Noel. I am very excited for the program today. We're in the middle of basketball season, our favorite season here at Pro V Networks. Yeah, we shouldn't say that, but it's true. And the reason I'm smiling today is because we're going to talk some hoops the right way, the night way. This is a Del Norte house, and you know it, and I don't care who knows it. And Francois Satchivi of the Knights is here. Anytime I can have a night in the house, I just get amped for that, man.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You know,
Thank you so much.
I went to you guys' scrimmage before the season started. I like what I saw, right? I think, we're going to be back in the playoffs this year, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
How tough was last year?
Last year, yeah, it was hard on all of us, especially I think Coach Mack. Coach Mack, he's a winner, so seeing him it was tough. And I think we knew as soon as the season was over, when we played Academy in the district tournament, I think we were all just ready for this
Turn
year.
the page.
Yeah, just right away.
And obviously, I mean, you were around the program when it was very successful. Right? So, Coach McIntosh has established something very special there, and then obviously there's the state title there. With Judah and Shane and company, and there's all this winning, and then there's a season where the playoffs are not achieved. That's got to be a little bit of a culture shock, especially because you were around all that winning. Right?
I was. That was amazing to be around. Like my freshman year, just going out, just playing. Like I didn't play, I think, as much as I wanted to, but I just liked just being out there when I got my chance, and it was just like I really just saw it.
Because now you can compare the two, right? Because you went through those struggles last year.
Right.
It's different when you're chasing something.
Yeah.
Right? It's different when you walk on the floor every night,
Yeah.
thinking you can win, thinking
Right.
you're playing for something, versus the struggles, right?
Yeah.
Compare those 2 years.
It's more like I guess it's more like after a while it was just like you just go out there and play, but now it's like there's really something at stake. Like it's more of your Coach Mackey says a lot. It's your legacy type of thing that's at stake out there. So I think that's what main thing we're playing for right now.
And for us proud Del Norte alum, like I've seen this before, where the team was amazing, right, during the Scott Bamforth years, back-to-back 1 seeds, right?
Yeah.
They're really successful. Obviously, they never got the trophy like your guys' group did there, but like after that, it was bad.
Yeah.
Like it was. You go from a 1 seed, you go from being the best team in the city, you go from having really special dudes. Scotty's off at Weber State, and the program just takes a dive. I mean, they go through coach after coach. It's not only bad, but like embarrassingly bad. And I think that was my fear. Like, man, is it going to be another 20 years before we're good again, right? And but then I went to the scrimmage on Saturday. I was like, no, it wouldn't be all right. I was very relieved on that Saturday.
We should be more than all right. I think this year,
And I think Coach McIntosh is kind of, there's been years, honestly, where I didn't think you guys could achieve what he achieved, right? Some of those teams he took to the Final Four, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Right? Like overachieved. Right? What is it about him that gets you guys to play so hard?
Just his spirit to win. He just really knows, I think, what it takes, especially coming from his Volcano background and stuff like that. They're all winners, and just him trying to take us to the win. He knows how to win. He knows how to win, and I think he inspires us all to win, because especially the other sports at our school, he always explains to us like they go through a lot, and a lot of their players give up. And he uses our that state championship that year as a big example of like, why we shouldn't give up, why we should keep pushing, like why everybody's always looking at us, and how we should always like strive.
And that's a great point. I always am very impressed with, it's easy to walk through the halls when you're on a state championship team, right? Like you got your chest pumped out, you're wearing the gear, right?
Yeah.
I always admire those guys that stick it out. Like it's a lot harder. I mean, I can only imagine the football team, right? Like it's a lot harder to walk through those halls when you're getting your ass kicked every week. But you're still repping the gear, you're still repping the school, but It's a lot easier when it's a winner, right? But it still takes the same dedication when you're not winning, right?
Yeah, I was definitely a part of that. Like I said,
Yeah,
I
you
was
took a football, right?
doing football for a long, and yeah, it was just just walking around, just like before every game, it was just like, oh, are you guys gonna lose again? I was like, wow, they just say that to you, like to your face, like
Yeah.
out loud. It's just like, yeah, it's a big difference for sure. It's a big
And
difference.
I don't think people realize, the dedication, especially you're a multiple sports guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of sacrifices that goes into that, right? Like,
Yes,
I'm sure
sir.
you got friends and stuff that go do dumb stuff, and you're like, no, I'm gonna go get shots up.
Yeah, that happens a lot. And it comes with it. You over the years, especially when I started taking basketball more seriously, you just gotta expect that, and you gotta live with it, because at the end of the day, it's you. You gotta do what you have to do what you want to do and stuff, and what's best for you. So
Right. But you
I
could
think,
definitely see, like, when one of your classmates comes up to you in the hall and says, hey, you guys are going to get beat down this weekend. Like, you could see why people quit the
yeah,
team, right?
yeah, we had a lot of people quit the football team in the span of like weeks, like
Yeah.
yeah, fast.
So don't do that.
Just
Sign up to play. Don't do that,
yeah,
right?
just drop. Yeah, so it was a really big difference, because it was more like, why play if we're gonna lose, I guess, type of
And
thing.
I can remember the championship year, or even the last couple of, that whole, since I'll say the whole McIntosh era, right?
Yes, sir.
Like, everyone's always known I've been a Del Norte alum, right? Like,
Right.
I don't hide it. But you'd be amazed that championship year, everyone's like, oh, I went to Del Norte. I was like, really? I didn't know that. All of a sudden, all these people are, oh, yeah, I'm a Knight. I'm a Del Norte guy, right? So it's easy, right? When you're winning, there's a lot of people around the program.
There is, yeah. When you're winning, everyone, is always talking to you and trying to get your opinion and stuff. Like, my freshman year, I was playing with Shane. Before the season started, we had a lot of people come into the gym for our practices and stuff, and I was just like, season's not even started yet, but they were already expecting us to do a lot of big things that year. So
Well, one thing about the championship year that was pretty cool, though, like, you got to, and you probably saw, I'm interested to get your perspective as an athlete, but I know I felt it just as an alum, that championship year. I'm like, damn, this school really is old.
yeah.
There is a ton of people in this community
Yeah.
that went to Del Norte.
There is, yeah, there is. It's crazy how big the school was, a few years ago. But yeah, there's a whole lot of people in the Del Norte community that you don't even know about,
Right.
you don't even see. So it's
Like,
pretty
it
cool.
was, Del Norte was La Cueva before La Cueva.
Yeah, it
right?
was
Like,
one
it
of
was pretty special
it
back
was
in
one
the
of those
day.
big schools. It was one
Yeah.
of those big schools that a lot of people went to that you don't even know. Like, you'll just go out to a restaurant, someone will see your shirt. Like, it's actually happened to me before. I think I was eating at I think it was Crack and Crab, and I had my my basketball shirt on, and someone was like, "Hey, I used to go there," and I was like, "That's crazy." Like, it was one of those schools for
Right.
sure.
What why Del Norte? Did you have a connection there with Coach Mack already?
It was Coach Sanchez. I think it was
Okay.
Coach Sanchez, and a little bit of Shane too. I saw a lot that when they won that year. I went to a lot of their games, and I just like the way he played. I saw a lot of stuff, but Coach Sanchez, my 8th grade summer, he was talking to me about it and stuff like that, and I was just I think
Because I know that's something Coach Mack's pretty big on too now, is reaching out to the middle schools,
yes,
being in the community.
yes,
Like, we
yeah.
got to get that pipeline going, right? Like, I know
Yeah.
he's real big on that.
Yeah, he is. We go to a lot of middle school games every year just to kind of check it out, talk to some of their players. Our summer camp through the summer that we have, we try to help kids, just show them what it's like, just our team, our culture, and stuff like that. Try to get them to.
And you guys get pretty nice home crowds. That always helps, I think, too, when middle schoolers can see that, okay, the
Yeah.
gym's full for games. Like, I try to get to as many games. I try to help Coach Mack out, do some PA announcing every now and then when I'm free. And you guys get some nice home crowds.
Yeah, well, last year it was kind of
yeah.
it was kind of a hit or miss. But yeah, my freshman year, yeah, the crowds were crazy. Yeah, there was a lot of people in there.
All right, we'll take a break, talk more Knights hoops when we come back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Back with the Knights, Francois Satchivi. We're talking some hoops, talking about Del Norte, the winning culture that Coach McIntosh has installed there. Back to the winning ways this year, we're hoping, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't want to put any added pressure on you, but I may or may not have bet one of my friends
Right.
that is a Valley Viking dinner that we're going to win district, so please
Yeah.
deliver that for me.
Yeah, we're gonna win.
Gotcha.
this year.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. It's the district this year. There's a lot of changes in the district. Obviously, Valley, they graduated a lot. Academy, they graduated a lot.
Right.
Bernalillo struggled for a couple of years. This is the first year really where you don't really even know who's at Hope, right? Like that.
Yeah.
I was looking at that roster the other day, and I was like, well, who are these kids? That never happens at Hope, right? You always kind of know a couple of guys, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a different year in the district, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really different, especially for us, because I feel like last year we're that young team that nobody really knew like who we were and stuff. But now this year, I feel like everyone's a lot older, everyone's just more experienced, and I feel like it's gonna be a lot different than what it's been. So
Speaking of a lot older, I mean, you were around during those early years, right, when the team was winning and all that.
yeah.
Have you started to take on some of the leadership role on this team?
I think so. I think I would. I like to try to just try to be a voice when I can. I think I need to work on being more of a voice, but I definitely think I just try to get people where they need to go. Especially since I have most of the experience compared to everybody else. So yeah, I definitely.
What do you think were some things you needed to work on for your game this year? What did you do in the lab this off season to kind of work on your game?
I think I did everything. I think I tried my shot, my driving, getting to the rim, vision. I've been trying to work on my vision a lot more, just because I think this year a lot of people kind of see how I play, and when I drive, I need to just work on my all around game. I think.
Who are some of the guys you watch that you try to emulate, model your game after?
I like Darius Garland a lot. I like Donovan Dent on the Lobos. Those two for sure. I think I play.
What about the mental part of the game? Like, how do you work on that?
I think I just I think it comes down to me, the mental part is just the work you put in. Like you really won't go out there and get nervous if you know
Right.
what you've worked for and what you achieve and stuff like that. And especially if you know you got your good teammates on your back like I do. I think my team helps me a lot with that stuff because I know I'm not just feeling the pressure, but they're feeling the pressure
Right.
too, honestly.
What about, and how does Coach Mack help with that? I mean, you talked about his volcano background, right? So I'm
Right.
sure practices have to be a lot like Greg Brown's practices,
Yeah.
like 2 hours of defense, 10 minutes of offense.
Yeah.
But what about the mental part? Like, how does he help with that?
He just tells us, just go out there and play. It's actually he even said it yesterday. Don't focus on anyone in the crowd. It's just you in the court and just your teammates. Just do what you have to do what you're supposed to do, and that's it. You'll be cool.
Right. And where do you think you're at for that part? You good?
I think I'm doing great.
So we're ready to make a run. Like, I got to put you the ringer here, man. I need to make sure this bet is gonna win. I got to make sure you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
ready.
All right. What's the hardest part about Coach Mac's practice?
Um,
What's,
what's the hardest part about Coach Max practice? I think maybe just probably yelling.
right.
He's a yeller. He
He's
yells
like
a
a little
lot.
cheetah on the sideline. Like,
Yeah.
he's down on the knee.
Yeah.
And then you don't expect it. And then next thing you know, it's swat,
Yeah.
swat,
Yeah.
right? And he just starts yelling, right? And but like a cheetah, like he just
Yeah.
comes out of that crouch and attacks,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
he's got a style to
Yeah.
his, like,
Yeah.
talk about that.
That's one thing. I think that's one thing I've always liked about him, especially since freshman year. It really wasn't more of like how good I was out there, but is if I played hard enough, and if I wasn't playing hard enough, he would tell me, and I'd get taken out. But if I was playing hard, he'd definitely reward me and tell me to keep it going. Like don't stop the motor.
How did you adjust to his coach? Because I can remember when you were younger. I can remember like when the cheetah would strike,
Yeah,
your head would go down,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, so how did you adjust to that, to his coaching?
Just knowing it was gonna help me. Just knowing, he's been doing this a long
Right.
time with even better players. So it's just knowing that I know he knows what he's talking about. He has a state championship under his belt. So I think I just I had to accept that and just shake my head, just yes sir, and just
Now I gotta
keep going back
ask,
to it.
because you guys have probably my favorite player that I've ever covered in high school hoops is now on the coaching staff there.
Oh
In DeMarcus Sutphin.
Yeah.
Like, that dude was a bad,
yeah.
you know what?
Yeah,
Like,
it was-
he could play, man. Like, if I had to build a team to go to battle with, I think DeMarcus is on that team every time. Like, I can remember. Hey, I'll tell you a quick story, and then I'll get your opinion. But I can remember him. And I don't remember who the player was, but we're doing a game,
Yeah.
and this is a player that averaged like 30 points a night. And DeMarcus is just on that side of the court during their warm-ups,
Yeah.
just cussing up a storm. You ain't getting bleepity bleep on me tonight. 10 or 12 maybe. Bleep, 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 And sure enough, end of the night, Frisco wins. 30-point scorer, had 10 points. Shut him down, right? Like, that was the kind of player DeMarcus was. What kind of coach is he?
Nah, man, he's a fun guy to be around. He knows what he's talking about. He knows how to win for sure. He's a really good influence on us.
The most competitive, one of the
Yeah,
most competitive guys I've ever seen.
He's extremely competitive. Like he'll hop in some of our drills and it's no mercy. He'll play like he plays.
I could see him getting in drills.
Yeah,
throwing bows.
yeah. He throws a lot of blows. Yeah.
Does he still do the slap the floor thing?
No.
That was kind of a trademark of theirs too on defense. And I know he's the leader there. So that's cool, man. Like, that's when I saw him join the coaching staff, I was like, all right,
Yeah, no,
toughen him up a little bit.
He's a really big part of our coaching staff, and I love him here.
What do you guys have to do this year to win that district?
Honestly, I think we just have to keep working, just keep doing what we've been doing, all summer, all year. Like I said, I think when we lost that day, I think we all realized like we can't have it like this next year. Like it won't be like this next year. And I mean, we have all our experience, we have all our guys, we have great pieces around us, and we just gotta keep being a team. I think that's the biggest part, being a team.
All right, before we go on break here, we're going to do top 5 lists. You've seen the show?
Yes.
Top 5 lists, top 5 things we don't know about you. Put you on the spot here. Number 5.
Number 5, I was not born here.
Okay.
I'm from Georgia. I'm not from here. Number 4.
Well, let's number 5. But you came when you were young, right? So
Yeah.
Because that would be a culture shock if you moved later in life from
Right.
the South to here, but it was really young, right?
Right. Yeah. It was really long. I was 5 years old.
Okay.
So.
All right. So you probably do you remember Georgia?
Yeah, a little bit, little
Okay.
bits and pieces, but.
All right. Number 4.
Number 4, let me see. I play football.
When did that start?
That was that started honestly, it started last year. I have I'm friends with a lot of older people, and they would take me around the 7-on-7s at West Mesa, and I started playing. I just liked it, but I never thought about it for school until the
What,
season
what
came.
position did you play?
Wide receiver.
Okay.
So
How terrified was Coach Mack when he first heard about this?
yeah, he was very. He said, well, I don't know about that, but he was like, I don't know if that's a smart decision. I was like,
Because I'm all for playing multiple sports, right?
Yeah.
And especially at a school like Del Norte, you got to share athletes and stuff.
Yeah.
But man, like it's
Yeah.
well, you saw it this year even with some of the Sandia kids are pretty banged up heading into the season, right?
Yeah.
Gad and
Yeah,
Thomas,
yeah.
right? So it can be a little rough.
It was rough.
As a coach, that would really scare me if my star player is like, yeah, I'm gonna go get beat up every Friday.
No,
right?
it was bad.
All
Yeah,
right, but you made it through healthy, thank goodness.
know.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, I spend off the court. I spend most of the time, reading a lot. I like to read. Just it gets my dad. He's always been one with education and stuff like that. So I think I like to do that.
What's your favorite subject in school?
History.
Okay.
I like history a lot. I don't know. I just think something about just the past, just all the stuff that's happened that we don't know about. I don't know. I like that a lot. So.
Is Mr. Sparago still a history teacher?
Oh my, Coach Sparago.
Yeah, Coach Sparago was my history teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
He retired last year,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach Sparago. He was. Dang,
Tell you,
that's crazy.
I should have told you this before, but remember his ID terms?
I don't think so.
So he did when we were going to school. Just these ID terms, right? Just just a bunch of either words or phrases or like the battle of whatever, right?
Yeah.
Just pages of them, right? And you're supposed to, obviously look them up and blah blah blah. And this was obviously pre, Google or whatever. And my friends and I were like, "There's no way he reads all these when he's grading these."
Yeah.
So we put let's just say we put that to the test.
Oh, okay.
And we found out
He did it.
he didn't read every one of them because there was a couple where it was like Battle of 1812, and I would just put, I'm not sure what the Battle of 1812 was, but I'm sure it was an important part of U.S. history. So as long as there was stuff on the paper,
Right.
I think I got credit.
You still
But
got the
don't,
grade.
well, you already passed that, right?
Still got the grade,
So,
yeah.
but that is, Coach Sparago, that's a proud night, man. When he went back to coach wrestling last year, I was like,
Right.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because he'd been to other schools, he'd been retired. Coach Sparago's that's a good dude right there.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at? Number 2?
Yes.
All right, number 2.
I've been on the honor roll all 3 years at Del Norte.
Coach
so,
Mack told me about that, right? So
Yeah.
what kind of GPA are you sporting?
Right now,
Yeah.
it's a little lower. I think it's like a 3.4 right now.
All right, you gotta step your
3.4.
game up. Because
Yeah.
That girl that you passed by in the hallway
Yeah.
from last week's episode, 4.3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she plays 3 sports.
Don't do that.
Baseball.
That hurts.
Not softball. She plays baseball.
Oh.
Baseball, basketball, tennis, soccer. She picked up a 4th sport.
Why not?
4.3. So you gotta step that
I
game
gotta
up,
step
man.
it up. Yeah.
Step it up. Step it up. All right, number 1 thing we don't know.
What's the number 1 thing? I just had it in my head. I like to spend a lot of time with my teammates.
Okay.
I think just bond with a lot of my teammates.
This is good news. That means the chemistry's good,
I'm
right?
I'm with them more than I'm with anybody else. Like every day usually. So yeah.
Okay. That's good. This is good news as a Del Norte fan. Does that mean the chemistry's good this year?
Our chemistry.
Tight group.
We are tight. Like
That's pretty important, isn't it?
Yeah, I could say that confidently. Like we're tight. Like everybody goes to everyone's house. Everyone, we all go eat all the time. Even today after practice, we're tight. Especially after last year. Just all that, like the losing and all that, I think it made us closer. Like I feel like a lot of teams would have strayed off from each other and stuff, but it just made us closer. I think just a better bond.
And it translates onto the court, doesn't it? Like not only you guys know where you're at, but also like you guys know like okay, when someone needs a like hey man keep your head up, or when someone needs a kick in the ass too, right?
Time.
Like it helps.
Yep, every time and I think everyone when the game comes, everybody takes correction good from each other. I think that's the good part of our team. Like it wasn't like that last year on the court, especially, but this year on the court, we all can take correction from each other. instead of like our coaches,
Right.
which they're supposed to do. Because Coach Mack likes to say, it's our team. We have to correct each other. He can't just be the one that's
The best teams are always
yeah.
the guys are doing
You're
most
right.
of the talking, most
Right.
of the correcting, most of
Right.
the coaching, right?
Yeah.
All right. We'll take one last time out. We're running a little short on time, so we'll come back, finish up with Francois when we get back.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavis, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Back with Del Norte's Francois Satchivi here. We're running a little short on time, but talking a lot about hoops, talking a lot about this season. But athletically, what were some of your influences? Were your parents athletic?
In ways they were athletic. I think I just kind of I just watched so many I don't know, like highlights of just everything, and I've just kind of learned how to do most of that stuff on my own. So I think I think it's just I guess natural because they're not like athletic to where it came from them, but yeah, I think it was just it was a lot of stuff I had to do on my own, a lot of individual workouts I had to do, honestly.
Right. Judging by the name too, like that's not an American name, obviously, right? So overseas.
Yeah, my dad he's from West Africa, but where he grew up they spoke French, so that's where my name comes from. So
I gotta say, as a basketball announcer, it's a pretty damn cool name,
Yeah.
especially when you start stroking threes. I think that's a pretty cool basketball name.
a lot of people mess it up though, so
I have not.
you have not. I appreciate
messed it
that.
up. So,
Appreciate that.
what I was really worried this off season. Saw you at ABC a lot. I was like, oh no, it's happening. So I'm so glad it didn't. But talk about the off season work, because you put on a little bit of muscle this off season.
Yeah.
Not little Francois anymore, right?
Yeah,
like you
no.
put on some lbs. So talk about that.
It was. I mean, I think I tried to. My goal every day was work out every single day. But the days like we didn't really have tournaments, but work out every single day. From I think I went to Sports and Wellness from 9 to 1 every day. Just try to just work on everything. I'd watch film from last year, all the stuff I was doing wrong. Maybe I wouldn't go left on this play, and I just try to do all that. Weights, a lot of weights. Just
Important for your game too, right? Because you attack the basket. You
Yeah.
don't want to get knocked around in the paint. Right?
No. Yeah, that was big. I think I learned a lot from last year. Just seeing other players inside, especially in college, just see how they play. Like when they drive, they don't get knocked off, and just them being on balance makes it easier for everyone else. Makes the decisions a lot easier. So I was definitely thinking about that a lot too.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, man, and I will appreciate it even more when you deliver that district championship.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
so
having
much. Thank you for watching The Right Way, the Night Way.
me. Yes, sir.